Good morning.
Good morning. Hello.
Good morning, everybody. How are you all doing? So we're sorry to keep you waiting. We were just waiting. There was only one or two in the waiting room, so we thought we'll just wait and see. Well, welcome everybody to the APT coffee morning chat today. I have the lovely Jessica from APT, and she's going to talk about the various tours and river cruising that they offer. So I will pass it over, and at the end we can have some questions and a catch up at the end of it. So I'll introduce you to Jessica.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Moira. Thanks so much for having me here today. And thank you all for joining. For those of you who haven't heard of APT, we stand for Australia Pacific Touring. And we were founded over 90 years ago by the McGarry family, who we are still owned and operated by. And we offer incredible river cruising and escorted tours. So I'm really pleased to be here with you today to talk you through some of the amazing products that we have on offer and some of the incredible things we do. I'll take about half an hour and we're going to go to the Mekong. We're going to have a look at Croatia and a look at European river cruising. So we do pride ourselves on having something there for everyone. I don't know if anyone's done a river cruise, but one of the things one of the reasons I love cruising and why cruising is such a popular style of holiday is you can unpack once and your hotel comes with you. And on a river cruise, it's a little bit like, particularly in Europe, a floating city break. And every day you wake up in a different destination. With our years of experience of escorted touring, we pride ourselves on the experiences and the off-ship experiences that you will have as an APT guest. It's very relaxing and you get on board. We have our fabulous cruise directors who will take care of all the detail and you sit back and relax and just enjoy the holiday. So some of the differences between river cruising and ocean cruising is ocean cruising, the ships have lots of the ship is a destination at times in itself, whereas a river cruise, it's very much about the sights and sounds that you'll see along the way. But it's a fabulous way of holidaying. So we understand it's been, and Moira and I were just talking, it's been an incredibly challenging 12 months for us all. And we just want to ensure that you as an APT customer through Moira at Miles Morgan have the confidence to book with us. So we've got our flexibility guarantee, which includes our experience and pioneering in holidays. We have, as I mentioned, been around for over 90 years, which is just fantastic. We're trusted and recognised, so we're 5-star rated on Trustpilot, which we are extraordinarily proud of. We have won a number of awards over the years, including Telegraph Travel Awards. We're ABDA and ATOL protected, and we do have a client peace of mind fund, a client protection fund for your peace of mind. And cruising has always adhered to strict health and safety guidelines, and we have just enhanced those due to COVID, and of course we'll be in line with all government regulations that we need to be when we start sailing again. We've also got a reduced deposit at the moment, and you can change your holiday 100 days before departure free of charge. So hopefully that just gives you a little bit of confidence when thinking about, oh, what next holiday am I going to book? So at APT, we have two styles of holiday. We have APT Luxury, which is illustrated in our brochure in the gold. They're 5-star ships. It's fully inclusive. We have fantastic sightseeing experiences on them. And yeah, you'll get sort of home to airport transfers and all the details are taken care of. We then have our Travel Marvel Essential River Cruising. Now, this is 4-star, great value for money, great inclusions, but just not all the sort of the same bells and whistles that APT have. Today, because we only have got half an hour, I'm going to focus on our Travel Marvel program. And also we've got new ships in Croatia, this ship that's behind me here. And we have also got new ships in Europe. So there's some really exciting, and a new ship in Asia. So we've got some really exciting things to talk about in those destinations. Now we offer river cruises in Europe, Russia, Vietnam and Cambodia. Myanmar, we're currently suspended, and I just need to update this slide, but I will talk to you all about those. So we like to ensure we have as much included in the upfront cost as possible. So we'll include your flights from the UK. We can do regional departures. So just like with the likes of Air France, KLM, we can look at all of those. Your sightseeing, we'll include beverages at mealtime. So we include drinks with lunch and dinner, and those drinks are made up of beer, wine, and soft drinks. Water stations and tea and coffee are available all day long on our ships. Great accommodation, and I'm excited to share with you some images of our new ships. We're on holiday, we want to taste lots of the local cuisine, so we include those fabulous meals. Transfers, port charges, tipping is all included as well. So I mentioned we've got some new ships, and the Polaris was due to launch last year, but because of the travel restrictions hasn't, and will be aiming to be launched later this year. And then we've got the Capella and the Vega, which are all in dry docks ready to start sailing. So these are our brand new 4-star ships. Now, they're very contemporary, quite modern, really relaxed. And we've got the sky deck, which is what you can see in the top image there, and that's slightly sunken. And the reason that we've sunken it slightly is it means that when we're going under low bridges and when we're sailing, we don't have to close it. So it means it's open longer, which is really important because you're on a river cruise and you want to be able to sit on the sun deck, relax with a cup of tea or a cup of coffee or a glass of wine, depending on the time of day, and watch the world go by. So here you can enjoy some food should you wish to, and really relax. You've got the main lounge area, which is where you would spend a lot of your time on a river cruise, and that's where our incredible cruise directors do their pre and post sort of their port briefings. We also, in the main lounge area, we have a entertainment coordinators on board. So there'll be a couple who will perhaps maybe take you on a guided walking tour, start the day with a bit of a stretch class, and they're also musically talented. So they might do a bit of singing in the evening, or they also might organise a quiz. Another element to this ship that I particularly love is in the main lounge area that you can see in the bottom image. We've got these fabulous bifold doors. So it really brings the indoors out, and it creates that flow atmosphere throughout the ship. And there's plenty of places for you to sit and relax and watch the world go by. The other image that you've got on the screen there is of McGarry's Bar, and I'll tell you a little bit more about that in a moment. These ships have 3 different dining areas on them. So we've got the main restaurant, which you can see in the smaller image, where breakfast, lunch and dinner is served. You'll start the day with a buffet breakfast. There'll be an egg chef there, ready to cook you up eggs your way, and there'll be some a la carte options. Lunch is a 3-course lunch with a mixture of buffet and a la carte options, and then dinner's a 4-course dinner. On our river cruises, you most certainly will not go hungry, because we're bringing on fresh produce every day and giving you the opportunity to taste the local flavours. We also have McGarry's Bar, which I'll tell you a little bit more about in a moment. And then you've got the main lounge area that you can see in the top image, where you can have a light lunch or snacks throughout the day. So there's plenty of dining options available for you on board our ships. We also have a lift on board as well. So if you don't want to use the stairs or have mobility issues, that's available for you. So I have spoken a little bit about the food, and in the top image here, you can see McGarry's Bar. So this is at the rear of the ship, and it's a lovely space and quite unique to a 4-star product, or a 4-star river cruise. Quite often the 5-star river cruises all have different speciality restaurants or have another dining area, but this is quite innovative for a 4-star river cruise. So there you can watch some sport, perhaps it's got a bit of an Irish feel, the McGarry's Bar, listen to some live music and grab a more casual relaxed snack. The suites on board these ships are absolutely lovely. She holds 182 guests, so a very intimate sailing and cruising experience. And at the touch of a button, you can make that window into a French balcony. So again, you're bringing the indoors out. For those of you who haven't river cruised, I would bear in mind that sometimes the ships will dock beside each other. So you may have to disembark through another ship, or you may open your curtains one morning and there may be a ship that's pulled up overnight. So make sure you've got your bathrobe on. That is one of the beauties of a river cruising too, is there's always something to see. Sometimes I get asked, what side of the ship should you be on? And it doesn't really matter, because it really depends on where we're docking, and because it's quite a fluid way of holidaying. Yes, we have our docking locations all booked, but things do change. So all of the suites are very well positioned, and of course will be serviced and cleaned twice a day. So here we have one of our most popular itineraries. Now this is our European Gems. We do a number of awesome 14-night holidays at APT, but you can make it into a 7-night holiday should you wish to. Now this trip leads in at £2,395. You would fly into Budapest, and then you'd sail all the way up to the Netherlands. There's some incredible cities, well, Budapest for one, Vienna that you visit, Cologne, Amsterdam, and then you've got some amazing villages like Rudesheim and Miltenberg and Milk, and you'll go and see the Milk Abbey along the way too. So this is a really comprehensive way of seeing all these beautiful cities in Europe. And as I have mentioned, we do pride ourselves on the excursions. Before I talk about the excursions though, this is the image in the background there is Budapest. And one of my travel highlights, I've worked in travel all of my career and been lucky enough to do a bit of traveling, has got to be cruising into Budapest. My first river cruise was Vienna to Budapest, and we just sailed in, and seeing the Hungarian parliament buildings and just seeing the city from the water was just absolutely spectacular. Some of the excursions you will do on our European Gems 15-day river cruise will include things like a trip to Augustusburg Palace, which you can see there. We will have a Bavarian folk night, so we'll have some local entertainers come on board the ship. You'll have the opportunity to have steins and try some of the bratwurst and the local cuisine there. But one of my particular favourites is in Miltenberg. And in Miltenberg, we go and have coffee and cake with a local family. So we go off into small groups of the tours, which we do on all of our tours at Travel Marvel. And you'll go into someone's home and they'll have made some fresh baking for you. You'll have a conversation, and it's just a really unique experience and gives you such a lovely insight into the local way of life. And then when everyone got back on the ship, we all had such different experiences. So it was super fun being able to share them with our guests. We offer river cruises in a number of destinations. So I'm just sort of doing a whistle-stop tour of some of the cruises we offer. So we talked about European Gems. We also do the Balkans. So from Budapest down to Bucharest, and we've got both 7-night and 14-night options available. At the Douro with a 7-night cruise from Porto back to Porto. So that's a return trip and incredibly popular for second and third time river cruises. And then we also have Russia. Now, Russia has proven to continue to be popular. It's a 10-night cruise, St. Petersburg to Moscow, in a really unique way of seeing this fascinating country. So I just wanted to mention that is an option there. The ships in Russia are slightly bigger. To 220 guests, and that's because you do sometimes have to sail across some lakes. And a caveat with Russia is to the quality of the ship. It's more of a 3-star ship than a 4-star ship, but it's very good quality. It's just we can't build our own ships in Russia due to the rules. But some of the experience you'll have there is a Russian language lesson. You'll do vodka tasting on board the ship of an evening, and you'll really get some fantastic, unique experiences. So I just wanted to highlight some of the other options and rivers that we sail on. So moving away from river cruising, 3 weeks ago, we launched a brand new product in Croatia. And it's a wonderful 7-night cruise on board the Lady Eleganza. So we have, as a company, we've been cruising in Croatia for a number of years, but we haven't been promoting it in the UK. So we're super excited to have this. She's a brand new ship, which is being built. She should be finished in the next few weeks, and absolutely stunning way of seeing this this part of Croatia and cruising along the coast. Now, what's unique about this is there's only 34 guests. So it's a very intimate cruising experience. You'd fly into Zabra. My Croatian pronunciation is shocking. It will improve, but Zabra, you'll fly in there and then you will transfer. It's about a 3-hour transfer to APT, and then you will cruise for 7 nights down to Dubrovnik. Now, it's relaxed. And what we do on this itinerary is there's lots of opportunities to stop and get off the ship and perhaps swim. We visit the national parks. Some evenings we don't include dinner because you're so close to the shoreline, you can just go off and explore and have dinner in a local tavern or a local restaurant. So I mentioned that there's 34 guests on this ship, so it is a really intimate cruising experience. It's that small ship, yacht style. We do have 2 twin cabins on board, 2 single cabins on board, and then the rest are either twins or doubles. And you can see these are just some of the artists' impressions that we've got, but there's a platform that will lower down so that you can go swimming. The crew on board will look after you. There'll be a Travel Marvel tour director who will arrange all the excursions. Like everything we do, you'll have headsets, so when you're off out exploring, you can hear what the local guide's saying. We'll have casual. These images don't look particularly casual to me, but it is a casual dining experience on board. So breakfast will be served in the main restaurant, perhaps lunch might be a barbecue, and then some dinners will be included. And then should you wish to explore off the ship, that can also be done. So yeah, it's a brand new product for us. It's only been on sale for 3 weeks, and it's selling incredibly well because of the new ship and the nature of the size of it and the style of the destination. So I personally haven't been to Croatia, and it is definitely on my list, and I am hoping to perhaps even get out on one of these cruises next year, which would just be amazing. So last but not least, I'm going to finish with river cruising on the Mekong. So hopefully you'll see from the different destinations that I've talked about, is we have such a wide range of river cruising at APT and small ship cruising. And we also have teams all over the world to look after our guests. We've got office here in the UK in Amersham. We've got offices in Vietnam and Cambodia. We've got an office in Cologne. So we're very well placed to look after our guests. Now, this is a new ship to Travel Marvel. So the Apsara is not a new ship, new build, but she was our 5-star ship. But we now have got a new build for our 5-star ship, so she's becoming our 4-star ship. What I particularly love about this vessel is they're all balconies. So you can see the little portholes in the bottom there. They are not cabins. All the cabins are on the upper 3 decks. You can also see the little image of the tender there. And what I love about river cruising on the Mekong is the ruralness and the rawness of it. So every day you'll get off the ship on one of these tenders and go and explore a different destination. And then at the rear of the ship, you do have a swimming pool too. So these are some of the suites. They're quite large. And the ships are slightly more intimate than the Europe river cruising ships, 108 guests. And being an Australian company, I'm a Kiwi, just in case you were wondering where my dulcet tones were coming from. But we have a mixture of guests from Australia, New Zealand, and the UK. So they're the market or the countries that we sell into. These suites offer this unique twin balcony style cabin. So you've got an outdoor balcony, which you can sit on, and then you've got your indoor balcony. All individually climate controlled with air conditioning, etc. Cabin service twice a day. So a really lovely way of traveling through this destination. And a lot of the places, and you'll see on the map when I show you in a moment, that you travel to on a Mekong river cruise, you can't easily access any other way. So you can see the pool there. The sunsets on the Mekong are stunning. So after a busy morning sightseeing, it's nice to be able to go and sit in the pool and just relax. Our ships on the Mekong have these beautiful dark woods, and they're very much, whereas our ships in Europe are quite modern, our ships on the Mekong are very much in keeping with the destination that we're traveling along. we've got spa facilities, we've got fitness rooms, we've got everything that here you would expect. So these are some of my images. So you've got the main sun deck area there. You can see it's covered. You can relax with a cup of tea of an afternoon if we're just cruising, or not just cruising, if we're cruising because the views are lovely. Sit up there. They might do a fruit demonstration or fruit carving, or bring on some local food from the markets that everyone can just have a sample of. I only had my life jacket on in that image because we were doing the muster. You don't have to wear the life jacket all the time. It was just we were doing the muster. So the itinerary that we offer is, well, this is one of the itineraries. We do longer ones too, but it's Ho Chi Minh City. So 2 nights in Ho Chi Minh City, and then you cruise for 7 nights up to Siem Reap. So this cruise leads in at £2,995. So that includes your flights. So it's exceptional value for money, includes the cruise, your pre and post accommodation. You have some incredible experiences like we do an ox cart ride. So you can see in the image on the screen there now. And that was quite unique. When I was on the ship, we weren't quite at full capacity. There was about 80 of us on board. So we had 80 people. And 80 oxes and 40 ox cart drivers, and off we go, and we travel through the village, and the children are coming out there and waving to you, and it was just spectacular. So that was definitely a highlight for me. Angkor Wat, which is not highlighted on the screen, but that is a highlight. Watching either sunrise or sunset there is just truly spectacular. And then some of the food on board that we have, and or on the land stays as well, is just amazing. So these are my images too. So you've got, these are the 2 hotels. So the first 2 images on the left, the more lighter color, that's the Fusion Suites in Ho Chi Minh City. So that's the hotel that we'd stay at. It's a 5-minute walk from the markets if you're brave enough to cross the roads. The roads in Saigon, Ho Chi Minh City are just, for want of a better term, chaotic, mental. So to get across the road, you've got to have your wits about you. And then we also have Siem Reap. So we stay at the Shintamani. Now, I could have stayed here for a week. This hotel was absolutely stunning. And with the pool in the middle, I would recommend doing a post trip stay there for a couple more nights, because Siem Reap was just fantastic. And the hotel is locally owned, which is quite nice. So it's not like some of the big, more corporate chains. And they employ local Cambodians, and they do a lot about putting back into the community, which is awesome. I just love that hotel. So you can see me working hard there, having a spa treatment on the ship, because that was just one of the highlights. And then a couple more, the top one's my image of the tenders. So some days you will just disembark the ship. The gangplank will go down onto a grassy verge, and then the crew will help you off. And then other days you will go off onto one of these and perhaps do a tour through the floating markets. Or there's just so many things with the Mekong River cruise. It's just spectacular. So that's me really. I hope you've got a few questions. I hope I've whetted your appetite for perhaps a holiday. Lots of different destinations there. We do at APT as well offer a range of escorted tours. So we do escorted touring in Australia and New Zealand. We also in Western Australia, up in the Kimberley, we have a large range of land tours and expedition cruising along the Kimberley coast. We have Sri Lanka and Japan touring, and we also have Canada and Alaska. And Canada and Alaska, we're on sale now up until the end of 2022. And we do have some New England tours as well. So some itineraries that will start in Toronto and then finish in New York. So we do have a wide range of product, and Moira's got all the details on that. So she would be able to share any information. But I do hope that you've got a couple of questions or something to have a wee chat about. So thank you.
Yeah. Oh, that's lovely, Jess. Thanks a lot. I was just making some notes here because it's always good. It's quite educational for me as well, because things change in your new ship, and all the different things that alter. It's always good to get an update. I must admit that Vietnam and Cambodia one is definitely on my wish list. I would love to do that one.
It's one.
Someday. Does anybody have any questions for Jessica? Would anybody? Don't be shy. Is anybody wondering about anything?
Yeah. And all of the itineraries I've spoken about, except for Croatia, we do at a 5-star, fully inclusive level as well. So if you are looking for that, something
still there, Jess? Oh yeah. Sorry, I thought I'd lost the sound there. Jess, you know, just because I know there was at least sort of one couple on that are keen on the New England. So that one, could you touch on that just a little bit? You know, what's involved at your brochure? Oh, I think we might have lost you. You still there, Jess? Amanda? Sorry, guys. I think poor Jess is froze. Bear with us because we've got somebody that oversees it at the other end. Amanda, are you there?
Yeah. Oh, she's.
I don't know what's happened. Jess kind of froze, and I think we've lost her.
Oh, I'll wait a minute because she'll probably come back.
She'll come back, yeah. I hope you all enjoyed that anyway. It's always good to see like a different destination and some ideas. They do the thing I was going to also ask them, because I know we've got a couple of people on that maybe are single travellers. I was going to ask if if they do any sort of specific offers where there's no single supplement. So I'll ask her that. But if anybody else has got anything else, feel free to ask. Any thoughts you might have or any questions. But they are very good. I mean, over the years, I've had a lot of clients that have gone on APT, and I've never had anybody that's actually not rated it really highly. So it's a good quality product, and predominantly, as I say, you do get a mixture of Australians and New Zealand and UK market. So you don't tend to get the American market or anybody like that. It tends to be us and the Aussies and the Kiwis, as they are. Is she still hovering about in the waiting room, Amanda?
She's not in there yet.
Oh, poor Jess. Wait, when she's off, has anybody got any questions they want to ask me about anything, and I could ask on your behalf or anything? Bill?
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned the being a single person. All my holidays, and I've been a number of different places, including traveling with APT, which I enjoyed. The one that kind of took my interest was the Adriatic coast one. I noticed you said there were 2 single cabins. Are they liable to be booked up fairly quickly, and if so, could you give me some idea of dates? Because if I were contemplating that, then it'd be helpful to know roughly a date period and when I would have to have something so that I can get a single cabin. Thank you.
Yeah, sure. I think we've got Jess back. Yeah, Jess, did you catch Bill? Yeah.
Typical, my internet connection goes then. Thank you. Yeah, so because we've got 2 cabins on the ship, the sailings run from May through to September, and there's approximately 2 a month. That's off the top of my head. And because it hasn't been on sale for very long, there would definitely be some availability on those for those single cabins. So what we can do is, between Moira and I, we can have a chat to our reservations team and have a look at what dates would be available.
Yeah, it's good that they've actually got 2 single cabins, even though it's a small ship.
And they're not they're not like single cabins. It's a double bed, but it's just a slightly smaller cabin that's more suitable for one person. So that's why we've done that.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, what I'll do, Bill, I'll catch up with you at the end, but we can actually find out, if there's a particular month that would appeal more, because obviously it can be very, very hot in Croatia in the summer. So probably May, June, September time would maybe be better than avoiding the sort of real heat in July and August, might be quite good. But yeah, I'll get an idea of all the details on it. But it looks great. It looks great, Jess. I mean, the ship looks lovely, and it's just hugging that coast, and it's a little bit different, isn't it?
It is, and I think the relaxedness of it, and it's very unusual for us at APT. We normally include all of the meals, but when I realised and did some more research on the cruise, you're so close to the towns and cities, and you're on a cruise. It's nice to be able to get off the ship and dine if you want to, but then you can stay on the ship should you wish to. So it's just the choice that itinerary offers, I think, is lovely.
Yeah, it does. And when before we got cut off, you know, I was saying about, you know, the New England, the Canada, New England, because I knew there
Yes.
were particularly sort of 3 or 4 people that were kind of thinking of that sort of thing. So even, I know you don't have it on this, but if you had sort of the brochure there, you know, just a wee quick resume of what it does.
Of course.
Because I know there's a 19-day, is it 19-day and 25-day?
Yes, so there's this one includes flights. So there's a 9-day and then a 20-day one as well. So you would start in Toronto, you'd go down to Niagara Falls, so have a little bit of time there, and then you go up through Ottawa, Quebec City, and then it's down through, I don't know if it goes quite as far up into New England as perhaps some people might want, but then it goes into Montreal, Boston, Cape Cod, and then down, it actually goes down to Philadelphia and Washington, and then back up to New York. So it's quite a comprehensive tour and a great way of seeing that part of Canada and combining some of the USA with it as well.
Yeah, that's great. And see, for 2022, does it have September dates? Has it got some dates?
It should do. Let me have a, bear with me, because
I know it sort of does the summer. I know it does July, August, and
we don't have all the rates out. We have some Canada and touring on. I don't have all that information as yet. But once I will have a look and find out when we're going to get it, and I can let you know,
no worries,
Moira.
because I can, because we can check with us as well, Jess. No, that's great. But that sounds nice, because that one does Washington DC and Philadelphia, and it's kind of doing
something a bit different too.
Yeah, it's giving you everything new. It's giving you Canada, New England, and that's great. That sounds really, really good. And and on the European ones, and there's lots of early booking savings on the tours as well, and the early, you know, the river cruises too.
There is. It's approximately £1,000 discount per person for 2022 on the European river cruises. Asia, depending on the cruise or the itinerary, is either £1,000 or £1,500. Croatia is £500 per person. The prices I have sort of just reeled off. I don't remember them all off the top of my head. I've got a post-it note in the corner of my desk, but they include any discounts that we have.
Yeah, that's great. No, that sounds super. Does anybody else have any questions for Jess?
And of course, I mentioned earlier too, but all of those itineraries are on a reduced deposit. Generally, it would be £500. It's now £250. So
yeah, because I think, and you know, as regards, because I know it's kind of a relevant thing as well, but obviously, heaven forbid that by 2022 we're not out of this, because most people are looking to 2022. But I guess APT have got all sorts of policies in place about, you know, if you can't go because of COVID, you know,
you'll get a refund.
You'll get, so there's,
we of course we want to encourage people to rebook or to book different dates, and we have had quite a high rebook rate, but we understand that doesn't suit everyone, so we do have a COVID refund guarantee.
Because I guess the good thing about getting in early for 2022, which is what I have shared with a lot of clients, is that all the people that are due to be going in the next few months are going to be doing the lift and shift to next year as well, so the capacity and the available pricing and everything's going to change.
I think it will, and we've been doing a lot of lifting and shifting over the last 12 months. But yes, it will. I would say that for 2022, we are, particularly for you, well, for everything actually, we are seeing good sales, and we have seen a high transfer rate of our guests who still want to travel with us and have moved their holidays to next year.
Yeah, that's great. Francis and Jack, do you want to ask something? Because I noticed you've unmuted yourself.
Yeah, two things. One, what's the price of the New England one? And two, can you do the Amsterdam river cruise back to front?
Both ways.
Yes.
Or
You fly into Amsterdam.
You most certainly can.
Or you do it in reverse.
Yeah. So you can do Amsterdam to Budapest, or you can do Budapest to Amsterdam. We have pretty much 3 ships doing those sailings, so they'll sail up and then sail back, and we also can do those as slightly shorter 7-night cruises, so you can go Amsterdam to Nuremberg and then Nuremberg to Budapest if you've only got 7 nights. I would want to check the New England tour pricing, because I've got an out-of-date brochure in front of me, but just as an indicative price,
don't worry about that. That price will do.
That price will do. So for the 21 days, including your flights, the meals, and all the touring and things, it's £6,500. So, but I don't hold me on that, will you, Moira? Because
No,
that
that's
could
okay.
have changed, but that just gives you an indicative idea that what I'm looking at in front of me is a 2020 brochure. So we would have had a couple of changes on that, but I can get that information to Moira as soon as we have
I'll
it.
check that, and
I've made a note of it.
The great thing about it is, I think that I would say to you both, Jack and Francis, is that they include a lot of meals. So you know,
This is the New England one we're
Yeah,
talking about.
Yeah.
brochure is kind of like maybe a few bed and breakfasts and maybe a couple of, you know, meals in the evening. They actually think I think pretty much, am I right in saying, Jess? I mean, I think
So
really,
we've got night, like breakfasts are all included, and then on 7 of the evenings you've got your dinners. Of course, a couple of the days on that will be flights. It's 4-star accommodation, so it's sort of Marriott hotels that we're staying in throughout, and every day there's excursions included. There is a 10-day version of that as well, depending on what customers are, what you're looking at. So I can send you through more details, but and it does include all your tipping and gratuities too, and
I think it was
sometimes
tour, not a cruise.
this one's a tour,
Yes. Right.
yeah,
but it
so it's
still
like a
includes all,
land-based tour.
a land-based tour, but it does include all of those things. So and there's lots of great inclusions in that itinerary.
On the Mekong one, how do you get there? I know you fly, but do you have to change airports?
Singapore, generally we would fly with Singapore Airlines, so you'd fly to Singapore and then transfer onto another flight down to Ho Chi Minh City or Siem Reap, depending on where you were choosing to start.
This from London.
Yes, but we
London
can do
to-
flights with Emirates as well. We generally base it on Singapore Airlines, but we can do Emirates from Glasgow or Edinburgh.
Glasgow, yeah.
Glasgow. I was going to say, I knew they.
Edinburgh has been kind of taken off at the moment.
Yeah.
Yeah, hopefully it'll come back, but yeah, unfortunately.
So then it would depend. It may add an extra layover because, and I don't know the flight schedule off the top of my head, because you'd go Glasgow, Dubai, then you may need to still go Dubai, somewhere else in Asia to transfer. I don't know if they do direct flights to Siem Reap.
No, actually, or they were. Yeah, they were doing it direct into
Okay.
Vietnam from Dubai, Jess. So hopefully,
Perfect.
yeah, still, yeah, they were doing that. So it's quite good. Francis, it's effortless. It's with Emirates, so it's quite good. Yeah. That's great. Any other questions? Anybody for Jess? You have the, opportunity. She's the head of sales for APT. So we've got the creme de la creme today.
Oh, thanks, Moira. Moira and I have worked together for many years too. Yeah, and we work really closely with everyone at Miles Morgan as well. So yeah, if there's anything that you need, Moira's got my details, can always ask any extra questions. And yeah, I hope I've given you a bit of food for thought for your upcoming holidays.
I know. We're all dreaming about our holidays. We're all just can't wait to get back to normality.
Just want to step on a plane.
I said, I phoned a client this morning and I said, what are you doing today? She went, going to the farm shop to get potatoes. That's as exciting as it's getting at the moment. And we're all just dying to get back to, holidays, but also just being able to go out for a meal, get a haircut.
I know. Oh, I can't wait to get my haircut.
just a bit of normal living, isn't it? Yeah. Oh, well, everybody, thank you for coming on this morning and giving up your time. I really appreciate it. Those that had the little questions and things, I'll get right onto it and I'll be in touch with you shortly.
Thank you so much. Take care.
Much,
happy Easter. I hope the sun shines for you.
Yeah, but we're not going anywhere. But happy
No,
Easter.
but I just hope it shines in Scotland.
In Scotland, we can have a friend in the garden.
Yeah, enjoy. Take care.
See you later. Bye.
Bye bye.